Good morning everyone, and welcome to our thought for the day. You join me parked up in the car park of Ard Shopping Centre on what has been a glorious day for me. So you may have noticed from my thought last week, I do quite enjoy drinking coffee. But I'd like to say I'm not a coffee snob. I do really enjoy good coffee, and I have all the paraphernalia at home for making kind of hipster coffee, as some would term it. I am quite into proper coffee, but I also have a confession to make. I am not a coffee snob. In fact, coffee snobs would probably hate what I'm about to admit. I am also a fan of really sweet and sugary coffees. I quite often will go to a big global brand to get my coffee, one of the ones that don't pay taxes. To my shame, I do support them occasionally. And over lockdown, as they have been closed, I have struggled with cravings for just the big sweet coffee drinks that they do. But yesterday, Ard Shopping Centre announced that the coffee shop was reopening, and today I just happened to have to go to pick up a donation from Asda in Ards. They were donating some food, a lot of food actually, to our food bank collection at Presbyterian Comber. And we want to say thank you to Rachel Heaps, their community champion, who reached out to us to see if the food could be of use. And we are really glad that they had chosen to do that. And so I kind of used that as a bit of an excuse to treat myself, seeing as this coffee shop was reopened. In fact, my coffee was so good that I've got nothing left to show you. That's how much I enjoyed it. You see, it's not that I'm so particular about my coffee that I couldn't even stomach to drink the really sweet thing. I think the problem is I've got a really sweet tooth. As lots of you know, I am fond of anything sweet, whether it's boiled sweets, jelly sweets, or in this case, a really sweet coffee. It's not good for me, I know. But we as humans, we crave sweet things. We're working towards the point where Jemima is going to be trying food for the first time. And it's always really tempting to let her try sweet things. Just, scoop a bit off the top of a cupcake or whatever. But the advice is to try her with vegetables and things like that first. Because as humans, we're so tuned in that direction of sweet foods that if we let babies try sweet stuff first, they'll enjoy it so much that they'll struggle to get on to stuff that's not so sweet. So we are craving all of these sweet things. And I think God knew that when he was inspiring the psalmists to write. I want to share two verses with you today, both from the Psalms. The first comes from Psalm 119. It says, "You have been my teacher, and I won't reject your instructions. Your teachings are sweeter than honey. They give me understanding and make me hate all lies." The Bible describes God's word as being sweeter than honey. I was really craving a sweet coffee. Everything within me was calling out for that sweet flavour of the coffee. And it made me think, is that how I feel about God's word? Do I find myself, when I haven't been reading my Bible as often as I maybe should, do I find myself craving after it like I do for the sweet coffee? Like the honey that it's described in Psalm 119? And even more than that, if we look at the two verses around where it says that God's word is sweet like honey, it talks about God as our teacher, and we shouldn't reject his instructions. They give us understanding and make us hate lies. Not only are they sweet like honey, they are useful. They are good for so much. And maybe you're not a Christian as you're watching this video, and you're just not sure what I'm talking about. How can a book be so good like that? Well, somewhere else in the Bible that it talks about tasting and longing after something. Psalm 34 verse 8 says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who seeks refuge in him." And so if you're watching today as a Christian and you think, I would love to love God as much as that guy loves coffee, my advice would be to taste and see. I didn't know I liked coffee until I tasted it for the first time. I didn't know I really liked the super sweet iced coffee drinks from the big coffee chain until I tasted it for the first time. We have to take that initial step to see if we will like what we have. And so I would encourage you today, if you are a Christian, to crave after God's word like it is a sweet treat. And if you're not, to taste and see. Take that first step to come to Jesus and explore just how good he is.